and I'm the organizer of this event. I just want to take time out to thank everyone for being here this morning. While we're waiting for some other people to join us, I want to do a bit of housekeeping. So I want to thank everyone for joining us today. I know you've got very busy schedules and it's really a big sacrifice to come to an event like this. But we just want to say thank you for coming, and we have put together a really lovely program, and I know you will have a good time today. So, this event today, the Job Readiness Seminar and our Career Expo, has been put on by iCare Community Services in partnership with several different stakeholders and with support from the Department of Home Affairs. And we're just having a few of the guests who are going to be joining us just now. And I'm just giving them a moment to join us. So before we get into this, I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we meet today. I would also like to pay my respect to elders past and present, and to any Aboriginal people who are present with us today. We would like to pay our respects to you. I just want to say a big welcome to all of you, to our special guest, Mr. Ken Mufumburu, and to our partners from APM. Thanks for joining us at work, and Australian Migration Guide, Australian Training Institute, Darwin College, Afford, Max Employment, and various other organizations. And of course, I would like to say a huge thank you to the Department of Home Affairs, to their Community Grant Hub, for supporting us with this project. So, I would like to welcome our special guest this morning. We have with us this morning the Right Reverend Bishop Asamoah Boateng, who is the CEO and Director of iCare Community Services. Can we have a hand for Bishop Richard? We also have with us Councillor Karishma Kaliando from the Liverpool City Council, who is representing Her Worship the Mayor this morning. We also have Fiona Tinley from the Department of Home Affairs. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. And we also have with us our guest speaker, Mr. Ken Mufumburu from the African Australian Professionals Association. Thank you so much. And for all of you who are here this morning, put your hands together and give yourself a big clap for being with us today. I also want to thank our partners as well from Jasper Avenue, Mr. and Mrs. Poa, who are here supporting us for this event. John will be taking some photographs. You know, every good event has a few photographs, right? So if you're uncomfortable with having your photograph taken, please let us know. But we would love to be able to show our sponsors that we had a really great time with all of you, all right? But if you have any particular objections, please let us know, and we'll make sure that we respect your wishes. So, Councillor Karishma Kaliando, like many other Liverpool residents, migrated to the area with her family as a young girl. She's a registered occupational therapist and currently works for Headspace, the National Youth and Mental Foundation, to build awareness and reduce stigma around mental health and well-being, so that young people can access the help they need in the community. Karishma has worked with young people across many industries to build skills and capacity in the last 10 years. She brings to Liverpool Council her skills and experience in community engagement. This is her first term on the Liverpool City Council, and Karishma looks forward to working with the community to make Liverpool the best place to live and work. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me to welcome Councillor Karishma Kaliando.
voice is loud enough to carry, but I have a bit of a sore throat at the moment, so I'm not sure if that's the greatest thing. Thank you so much for that very warm introduction. Good morning to all of you, and I'd particularly like to thank and acknowledge Bishop for your warm hospitality this morning, and also acknowledge the efforts of Fiona Tinley from the Department of Home Affairs and other sponsors who have made an event like this possible. Can I acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land that we're meeting on this morning, the Gadigal clan of the Darug Nation, and pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging. So, as was mentioned, I'm representing our Mayor, Wendy Waller, this morning, and it's such a pleasure to join you for the Community Services Career Expo and Job Readiness Seminar. And the theme for today's event is integration and diversity, opportunities for success in the Australian workplace. I trust that this topic is really useful to all of you who are here today, and many of you are Liverpool residents or locals from Southwest Sydney. Our future is bright and our doors are open to anyone who wants to make a new life. It's crucial that all of our residents have equal access to fantastic job opportunities that are coming our way as a result of a few key developments. As some of you might know, Liverpool is Sydney's third CBD and the gateway city to the new Western Sydney International Airport, which is opening in 2026. And I know that sounds like quite a while away, but there are a lot of steps before we get there, and there are a lot of things to be done, and a lot of hopefully job opportunities to be created in the lead up to that, to the opening of that new airport. The airport and the Aerotropolis will deliver thousands of jobs for Western Sydney people across a diverse range of fields. And at Council, one of our main focuses is making sure that we can take advantage of that and deliver many of those jobs for Liverpool residents and those of us in Southwest Sydney. So we will need labourers, technicians, tradespeople, sales and retail staff and managers, but also aeronautical engineers, tourism operators and educators. So as you can see, there's such a diverse range of opportunities that are coming up. So whatever your interest is, whatever your area of expertise might be, there will hopefully be something there, an opportunity there for yourself. Council is leading the community into those employment opportunities and into the type of education that will give our residents an advantage in what will be a very competitive and dynamic place to work. So we also have 4 major tertiary education institutions right here in our CBD. We have two new universities that have just started up in the last few years. So all of those are in anticipation of, connecting our residents with those opportunities that are coming up. And as a result of some of these things, we've heard from global companies that have relocated here to make the most of those opportunities that are flowing from the airport. We've welcomed 2 of Japan's biggest multinational companies, Mitsubishi Heavy Industries and Sumitomo Mitsui Financial Group, into the Aerotropolis. And we've also made sure that they're looking at investing in Liverpool itself into the CBD. So they will be delivering new jobs, homes, infrastructure and services into the heart of Western Sydney. And they also join a couple of other big names, including Amazon, Northrop Grumman and Bechtel. So I'd like to make sure that you all know that employees and residents of ours from culturally and linguistically diverse communities are a major asset to what we see as the future of employment in Liverpool. With an international airport on our doorstep, the rest of the world is just a flight away. And having experience and knowledge from different cultures around the world is just another advantage in that sphere. Our city is ready to join a global community, and Liverpool's multicultural communities will play a huge part in this integration. Residents who have an understanding of multiple languages and cultures are ahead of the curve. It is what will set Liverpool apart from other places in the future. You will have strong people-to-people links across the globe, and this valuable knowledge should not be underestimated. I know sometimes it can be very difficult if English is your second language, and you may find communicating difficult, but the very fact that you have an understanding of 2 or more languages means that you are far more skilled than many. So I encourage all of you who are attending today to make the most of today's event. Don't be afraid to ask questions, do extra research. and contact council for follow-up if you do have anything else you'd like to know. It's a great idea to stay connected with council. We do have social media channels, including Facebook and Instagram, as well as our website, and we run a great number of programs for our culturally and linguistically diverse residents, not just through the library, but also through the Casula Powerhouse and Arts Centres. So please make sure that that you get connected and make the most of some of these opportunities that are here, because everyone has a part to play in Western Sydney's future. And on behalf of the Liverpool community, we welcome your contributions to our workforce and our economy. So thank you very much for having me again. I hope you enjoy the rest of today, and all the very best.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Councillor Kalianda. Yes, so lovely to hear of the plans for Liverpool, and that there are lots of things happening and lots of opportunities for our migrant communities. And in a little while, Bishop will be giving you an overview of the program and why we've decided to do this. But just before I introduce Bishop, I just want to let you know that the program today is designed with you in mind. So we will be having a few speakers who will give you similar presentations, and we'll be talking about things specific to people who are looking for jobs and people who are looking to get back into the workplace, people who are just needing a bit of motivation in terms of where do I go next with my professional career or my trades career. And also, after lunch, we will be having breakout sessions when you get to meet with experts who will help you to really plan specific for you, to help you to really shape where you're going to go when you leave here. So we're not just going to be talking at you today. We will be giving you an opportunity to get something to take away with you, to help you to identify where do I go from here with my career. So we'll have different people who will help you with that. So if you want to come up with a career plan, if you want to some help with just organizing yourself, or where do I need to go, we have people here to support you with that. So please stick around for the session after lunch. This is specifically designed so you can have time in a smaller group with someone who can help to guide you. All right, so without much hesitation, I want you to help me welcome a very special person. The Right Reverend Bishop Richard Asamoah Boateng is a founder and director of iCare Community Services. iCare Community Services is a specialist provider of multicultural and NDIS services for people living in southwestern Sydney. iCare Community Services provide programs and initiatives that improve the standards of living for those living on a low income who are experiencing disadvantage and are feeling marginalized. Bishop Richard has had a heart for marginalized and disadvantaged people, and as such, he has demonstrated this through the different initiatives that he delivers through iCare Community Services. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and help me welcome Bishop Richard.
Hello everyone once again. I think Stephen had already completed my job by introducing me and what I do. But I'll just add few, but I first of all want to, of course, acknowledge the traditional owners of this land, which we have done that, and we'll continue to do that. And that's all for Councillor Fiona from Home Affairs, where our large donation and grants is coming from. Amen. So they are actually sponsoring this program. Amen? Oh, sorry. I'm a bishop of a church, and I'm in the church. So forgive me when I say amen. So, and of course, my dear brother, also from Africa. Is it Africa, my mind?
Yes, I'm from Uganda.
Oh, from Uganda. Oh, good to see you. All right. Now, who we are. iCare Community Services is a multi-facet non-for-profit organization established for the sole purpose of helping the disadvantaged members of the wider community. Our programs are geared and oriented at advancing the welfare and the living standard of the marginalized, unemployed, and disabled residents. Places a strong focus on delivering person-centered community services that promote independence, build confidence, and improve the quality of life of residents in the southwestern and western Sydney. Purpose, why we established iCare. iCare was established because we have a passion for bringing hope in the midst of suffering. One, iCare is established because we believe in the practical demonstration of charity by assisting and working with communities to advance the social and public welfare of low-income and disadvantaged people, including those with disabilities, through practical programs that promote and improve their living standards. We also established to respond to the current need and changes in our community. What we do and do best is provide various social welfare and benevolence initiatives, broadly categorized as follows: job readiness and on-the-job training to equip unemployed individuals, including those receiving Australian government income, work for the door, to re-enter the workforce. 2, benevolent relief for low-income and disadvantaged individuals. And 3, holistic disability and home support for home support care service. We have a beautiful program, we call it Hope Cottage. And those of you who are here on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and on Sunday, we feed over 100 to 150 people every week by God's grace. And it's a program that I pray that God will continue to help us to be able to expand and do more. Because charity is not just about talking or just act, but it's a demonstration of God's love to the community. Amen. Sorry if I say amen. Why this gathering? Why this seminar today? iCare has identified through its activity and partnership key barriers for migrants to integrate effectively in the Australian workplace, including learning how to adjust to Australian institutions and culture in workplace, finding fair, meaningful, and rewarding work opportunities, developing trust and understanding of Australian law and culture, lack of knowledge of employment and training options, inadequate pre-training assessment to determine individual learning needs, lack of follow-up assistance with formal applications after completing the training, and lastly, lack of awareness of rights in relation to making complaints. The project developed to build on current experience with job readiness program, work for the door. So number one, the purpose of this, again, is to mentor and motivation for job seekers to get back into active work life. Job readiness seminar and career expo partner with local educational institutions, job network providers, outstanding migrant professionals, and other stakeholders. Every week, we do what we call My Career, My Calling on Down Under Radio. For those of you who don't know your way around, we have a radio station behind this building. It's a community radio station, online radio station. We do what we call my career, my calling, and we also stream that on Facebook Live, so you can maybe search for my career, my calling, or just down under radio and get connected. It's very educative and it's very, very useful. Amen. Our aim this morning is to enhance the cultural competencies and unemployability skills of participants in order to engage economic participation, build community resilience, improve the capacity of eye care volunteers to provide employment mentoring to clients, and support job seekers to improve their ability to find and maintain employment. Provide opportunity for connecting with support that they need. Call to action. Please make the most of today's sessions. Job network providers are available to assist you to register for a job and prepare you to enter the workforce. Training institutions are available to connect you with the right course or vocational training that you need. Career coaches are here today if you feel you need that service. Migration agents are on hand to help you if you have any visa issue. Speak with one of our skilled volunteers or staff on how we may be able to help you connect and provide the support or refer you to a pathway. Thank you. God bless you. Yes, let me acknowledge my beautiful Stephanie. My beautiful Stephanie. She has done very, very, very well. And I want to take this opportunity to acknowledge her as well. Dr. Steph, can you put your hands together for her? She's my pastor in the church. She's a doctor. She's a doctor in public health. But she has taken time to do all that and to help us to organize that. And I want us to appreciate her and thank God for her life. God bless you.
Thank you so much. For those who came in late, you may have missed me saying that all of this great project that we're doing was made possible through funding from the Department of Home Affairs. And today we've got a special guest from the Department of Home Affairs joining us. Fiona Tinley is a Community Liaison Officer for New South Wales and the Department of Home Affairs. The Community Liaison Network engages with communities around Australia to deliver departmental and whole of government policy and program information, contribute to building cohesive communities and maintain awareness of issues and concerns with a wide range of communities. Fiona has 20 years experience with the department, and she has been a community liaison officer since February of this year. If you could put your hands together and just help me welcome Fiona as she brings greetings.
Good morning, and thank you for the opportunity to attend the inaugural Eye Care Community Services Career Expo and Job Readiness Seminar. I'm delighted to be here with you this morning. As Stephanie said, my name is Fiona Tinley, and I'm a Community Liaison Officer at the Department of Home Affairs. Our Community Liaison Officer network serves as a conduit between the community, the department, and the government more broadly. On behalf of the department, I've been asked to deliver this message to you this morning. Workplace diversity is good for business. Workplace diversity helps Australian businesses to create products and services that meet the needs of Australia's diverse communities and international markets. Migrants bring to them a range of skills, knowledge, and innovative work and business practices, and employers can benefit from the unique skills, international experience, and diverse cultural perspectives migrants bring to the workforce. Gaining meaningful employment and connecting with communities is a key factor in being a part of Australian society and creating a sense of worth and belonging. The Department of Home Affairs Fostering Integration Grants supports new initiatives that will help migrants better integrate into Australian life through employment and community participation. Through projects like today's Career Expo, the Australian Government will continue to work to build stronger, more cohesive communities and provide opportunities for all Australians to make a positive contribution to the economic and social life of our nation. Thank you very much.
So before we hear from our guest speaker this morning, we also want to get some greetings from another one of our partners, from the Australian Migration Guide. Australian Migration Guide was established by Tony Tachi in 2006, and Tony has vast experience with migration matters and deals with matters for both communities, companies, and individuals. They are quite passionate about their work and will do their best to provide the best possible outcome for their clients. Their pledge is to work with integrity, professionalism, and honesty. We've got Pamela Navarro from Australian Migration Guide, and they want to just bring a quick greetings to us. Please make her welcome.
Thank you so much for everyone for coming in. It's such a pleasure to be here today. Just want to thank, big thank you to Dr. Stephanie and Bishop Richard for having me into this event. It's always, a big pleasure for me to be, part of your community. Well, I would like to tell you about a story. This will be just a 2-minute story. It's all about these two sisters. These two sisters come from overseas, living a simple life in a third world country. What happened is the older sister, she was the brain of the family, and she's an A-class student. While the second sister, she was, a complete opposite, just an average student who nobody really, noticed. So what happened is opportunity comes in to their lives, to both of them. The older sister didn't take action at all, and all because she was so afraid to take the risk. So she let opportunity pass by, while the younger sister decided to take action and pursue her dreams. So what happened is, even though she knew that it was really hard work for her to, take the plunge, she still, decided to do it and take the risk. After a decade, these two sisters had a heart-to-heart talk, and the older sister said, the biggest regret that I had is I should have taken the risk to make my life better than what I have now, because she settled for, what she had that time. And then what happened is, the other sister said, don't lose hope. There's always hope and there's always opportunity. It's just always in front of you. The lesson of the story is don't let opportunity pass you by. As what Wolfgang van Gogh said, knowing is not enough. You must apply it. Wishing is not enough. You must do. So always, don't be a pessimistic when you see difficulties comes your way, but always be optimistic in every difficulty that you encounter. Now ask yourself, what would you like to achieve for this event? Should you just be wasting a great opportunity, or continue to take action? Get the job you've always dreamed of. So My name is Pamela Navarro, representing Australian Migration Guide. If you require visa for yourself, your family, or for your employer, we're always happy to help you and assist you through visa processing or obtaining your citizenship. As you know, as much as we can, we always, give our best shot to help you out. We have our desks in the other room. If you need further information, just to let you know as well, we have a free initial consultation if you require one. Thank you so much again for the opportunity, and hope there will be more to come in the future with events like this. Dr. Stephanie, thank you, Bishop.
Thank you so much, Pamela. Thank you so much. Now, we are at a very special time of our program, and we've got our guest speaker for this morning. Mr. Ken Mufaburo is an alumnus and former chairman of the African Australian Inclusion Program at the National Australian Bank, and still works at NAB as a senior consultant in financial markets domain. Outside of work, Ken volunteers with African Professionals of Australia as the president of the New South Wales branch. One of Ken's objectives is to promote the importance of cultural diversity and inclusion in navigating the dilemmas and opportunities of social cohesion in workplaces and society. I could not think of a more suitable person to address this august audience this morning. So ladies and gentlemen, please help me to make welcome Mr. Ken Mufaburo, the chairperson of the African Professionals Association, New South Wales branch.
Thank you very much. You're very kind. If you might indulge me, can I step closer?
Yes, sure.
I feel that this is very removed. It's quite very far from everybody else, so I'd just like to move a bit slightly closer so I can look at you straight in the eye, you can look at me straight in the eye, and we can have a one-on-one conversation, because I'm not very different from the people in the audience. I'm an immigrant myself. I came here in 2002. I had struggles getting a job myself. At one point, I couldn't get a job for more than 2 years. Just couldn't get a job. And I had 3 degrees in Australia, and I just couldn't get a job. I think I applied for over 500 jobs and still couldn't get my leg in. I've worked in rural Australia just to break in. I've done odd jobs here and there just to fit in. And I can tell you it's actually doable. So maybe that's why she chose me to be the speaker for one reason or another. But I have actually been where you are, and I'm here to encourage you and tell you there's a lot of help you can get from people here, from people like everywhere, from strangers. There's a lot of help you can get to actually make it in this country. There's a lot of opportunities. So I'm originally from Uganda. I moved here in 2002. Did chemical engineering, couldn't find a job, moved to South Australia, tried to get a job. But I was always trying to find my way back to Sydney, because this is where I'm from. My whole family's in Sydney. So sometimes you might have to do things you don't necessarily want to do. But before I indulge into my story and my topic and what I'm going to share with you, I'd first and foremost like to thank Dr. Stefan Fletcher Latte for actually putting this event on. And to be honest, I wish I had known it was going to be such an empowering event. I would have encouraged a lot of my African brothers and sisters to actually be here. So next one, please let me know in advance so I could bring my whole troop with me. We're quite many. I'm surprised we're in Liverpool and there's not that many of us here. So next year, I'll try to bring a few more people with me. And I would like to thank you, Bishop, for hosting us as well, and for the work you're doing with the radio program as well. I've been on that program twice. And yeah, it opened up a few doors for me as well. Like I say, like Dr. Stefan said, I'm an alumni for the African Australian Inclusion Program at NAB. It's a program that was designed to just help Africans that just couldn't get a job. I'd been here for more than 10 years. and I thought I didn't even qualify for the program. I applied and I got into the program. So what I'm going to share with you is the things I've learned being part of the program, and the other things I've learned being the chairman of African Professionals Australia on the whole issue of integration. So if you might indulge me, I have some notes here. I might be straying off some notes. As part of APA, our vision is to create a vibrant group of professionals that help excel and positively impact society. We figured we had to change the narrative around what a professional is and what an immigrant professional is. What do they do? Most people look at us as people who can only do blue-collar jobs or do cleaning jobs or be nurses. But we can do a lot more than that. So we thought we'd come together so we can encourage each other. Being new migrants in this society, you need a helping hand. You need a helping hand because you do not have the networks embedded already for you. You're new here, you don't have that many friends. Anywhere you go, you need someone to give you a hand to pull you in. And we figured, who's best to do it by ourselves? How do we tap into those who have been here longer than others so actually they can help us? So that's our vision. But at the bottom of it all we do really is just try to integrate. All we're trying to do is trying to help people integrate. That's all it is. And for me, as I explore this whole thing of integration and what it is to integrate, I started looking up for mentors who actually were very good at this. And being an African and a black person, I was drawn to African or black people. And I don't know if you've heard of a man called Martin Luther King Jr. He said at best, integration is simply an opportunity to contribute to the beauty of diversity. Integration is simply an opportunity for you to contribute to diversity. It's so profound that at his time where segregation was so profound and pretty much mainstream, he saw that there was an opportunity for actually to integrate others. There was beauty in integration. So his thing was like, there's beauty in integration, so let's provide the opportunity. That's pretty much integration. All you're getting is a chance to actually contribute to the beauty of diversity. Now, there's a lot of research going on right now about the benefits of diversity. Companies that have more women in upper positions tend to do better than other companies. Companies that are more culturally diverse are more productive than other companies. So there's a whole lot of research coming out, founded research done by universities that show that more diverse groups actually function a lot better. Forget about what the politicians sometimes may tell us, trying to break us apart, but the reality is the more diverse a congregation you have, if you can work out your differences, you actually perform better than those who are less diversified because you have different perspectives on what you're talking about. You have a different insight in what you're talking about. And to be honest, the more marginalized people tend to persevere more, tend to work harder. So results show that diversity is actually the best thing for, if you have a community, if you have an organization, if you have a church, to be encouraging to actually bring in more people that are not like you so they can actually give you the perspective and the benefits of what you might not think about as an individual or as one group of people. The other person I would like to maybe point from and draw from about integration is Mandela. If the Mandela is known for anything else besides, liberating South Africa, he's known for his promotion of a term called Ubuntu. It's an African term which means personhood. All it talks about is you are because I am, we are because you are. It speaks to connecting with one another. Some people might call it karma. But what it means that at some point, whether you want to believe it or not, we are all connected. What I do impacts you. What you do impacts me. And it's up to us to make sure that these connections are positively enhanced and we actually reap the benefits of being connected to one another by actually helping one another. So if you might indulge me, allow me to use Ubuntu as the acronym on which I'll give you some kind of principles that I've taken up for my own life to actually integrate more. This is my own philosophy. I just looked at the word Ubuntu and I came up with a few more things that can actually help me remember how to integrate more. And if you take them to heart or if you write them down, they might help you in your own journey of integration. And with this, I'm not talking about just personal integration as you trying to get a job. I'm talking about companies that are trying to integrate to be more diverse. Any organization is trying to be more diverse. If you take these key points, I think it'll actually work in all aspects. Now, I'll start with maybe the word you. You, first of all, should stand, for me, I take it as my uniqueness. I had to come to a point where I embraced who I was. I'm an African who's been in Australia for more than 17 years. When I go back home to Uganda, they say, you're not from here. When I'm here, they say, you're not from here. And I was like, okay, now where am I from, you know? So I had to come to terms with the fact that I'm a unique individual. I have two different perspectives. When I go to Uganda, I see things that could be better. When I'm here, I see things that could be better. The best version I could ever be is me. Regardless of where you come from, you know, God does not make carbon copies. Everything God makes is unique. Everyone is unique. Your fingerprint is unique. Your eyesight is unique. So if you really want to be unique and embrace your uniqueness, look inside you. Try to discover who you are. Try to discover what you're gifted about, what you love doing. Find your sweet spots. Those are the things that will actually make you stand out. I managed to get time off work today. I sent my boss a message this morning. I showed him the schedule. I was like, oh, boss, I have to go give this little speech somewhere. He's like, it's okay, mate. That's what you do. I stand out at my workplace, not necessarily because I'm the smartest, even though I work in an area that has full of PhDs. And I stand out because I do this kind of stuff. That's what makes me different. That's what people look out for me. I had a meeting with my boss's boss the other day, and all she wanted to find out was, what is this APA thing you're doing? She didn't ask me about my work, how I'm contributing to my job, my scorecard. She had to find out more about the things I'm doing here today. That is your unique perspective. That's your uniqueness. That's where I'm excelling. For me, I had to discover who I am. I'm good at connecting with people. I'm good at encouraging people, inspiring people. So I decided, you know what? I'm not going to be paid for it, but that's what I'll do. But guess what? People that pay me are beginning to realize that and to recognize that. So I'll suggest find out who you are, what makes you tick, embrace where you're from, get the good bits of who you are and try to share them with everybody else. So find your uniqueness is number one. The other bit is be bold. Don't be scared. Dare to step out into the deep end. Stretch yourself. If you're going for a goal, for a job, go for a job that might scare you, that you might get it. Don't settle for the little things only. Stretch yourself. Women will tell you this, there's nothing as attractive as a confident man. Am I lying, women?
You're on the bunny.
Yeah. Being confident, like, I'm not the best speaker. I was not known for speaking when I was growing up, but I have just, through daring and putting myself in positions where I can speak, I think I've gotten a little bit better. But yeah, be bold, just go for it, and the only thing you stand to lose is you go back to where you are. If you don't try, nothing's gonna happen. But if you try, you might just, if you shoot for the stars, you might land on the moon. That's what somebody used to say, I don't know who, but dare to be different and be bold. So there's nothing that's going to be accomplished. You won't get a job by not being bold or giving it a try. At some point, I know we do get discouraged, but just be bold and step out and have a crack. The other thing is integration is a process. So I'd urge you to be unrelenting. You have to be unrelenting. Like I said before, I remember applying for over 500 jobs. I got to a point where I was like, man, I can't get a break. I cannot get a break. I remember back at the time I was actually working with Max Employment. They were trying to get me a job. And the lady came to me one day and she said, you know what, Ken, your problem is you're overqualified. That's why you can't get a job. This is after she was saying, we came to an agreement at some point where she was like, Ken, just come in, sign your name and go. Because they're like, Ken, we tried, you're overqualified. That's why you couldn't get a job. This was around the GFC time. I just couldn't catch a break. But this is what I did. I started volunteering. I started working for non-profits off my own time. I started volunteering at church. I started giving back the few skills that I had. I tried scaling up some non-profits, some startup companies for free. They were not paying me. But when I went to apply for the job at NAB, this is what I told them I was doing. And then they were like, oh, we can use that. We can use that. So in the time when I was free and looking for work, I decided, you know what? Let me go and give back to society and people. Let me go and give back. So for me, yes, be bold, but try to find anywhere you can serve, because as you get, it's called job readiness. That's one way to get ready. Either do some online course, there's so many free online courses, or volunteer somewhere. Use your own skills to volunteer, because that's where you never know who you'll meet while you're there. So be unrelenting. Always persevere. I mean, it's a passion project here. Integration, you have to like literally go, you get knocked back, you go back, you get knocked back, you go back. So that's another thing I have for myself. I'm always unrelenting. I don't care. I've met Fiona a few times. I'm one of those people who come and just tell you about APA. Whenever I'll tell you about someone who's looking for a job, if I know you have a job and you've never met me, I'll just reach out to you and just talk to you about somebody who needs help. Because I know if you say no, I'll just go back to where it was before. I don't have nothing to lose. My intentions are actually pure. I'm not trying to con you into something. I'm just trying to help you by getting you somebody who will help you with your work. So for me, I've learned to just be unrelentless in what my passions are. So yeah, discover your uniqueness, be bold, be unrelenting. Third and foremost, be neighborly. Like, to be honest, we're all migrants. We all have our own quirks, our own traditions, our own things we do. The next one for me is be neighborly. At work, I try to talk to everybody. Outside work, I try to talk to everybody. Try to be a good neighbor. It's as simple as that. Being a good neighbor, what's that like? It's not playing music at 3 o'clock in the morning. But on the other hand, it's not complaining about playing music, someone playing music at 8 p.m. as well. So try to be neighborly. Like, it's for the most part, if you're trying to integrate into society or into a group of people, the first thing people look out for is he a good fit for, does he have the good fit for the job? Is he a good fit? They don't even care about your qualifications, what you can do. First thing will be like, can we relate to this person? Can we work with this person? And that is usually simple. It's just have a smile on, say hi. Very things that we take to be very mundane, very simple things. Just speak to the people you work with. Say hi, even if you have a bad day. It doesn't come easy for everybody, but sometimes just try to be neighborly, like a good neighbor. When somebody comes around you, there's that energy you emit that's actually welcoming. Simple things like that. Those will take you far more than your qualifications, far more than your intellectual ability. It's called the WeQ. It will take you much further than your education and what you can provide. If you're neighborly, people will approach you. If you're neighborly, you'll be able to access people that can actually help you. So that's another thing I try to be like. Another thing, which is I'm going through Ubuntu. I'm at T now. I try to seek out for truth. We all have this unconscious bias thing, and someone might look at you wrong and you say, okay, you know what, they don't like me. But in reality, the person might have had a bad day last night, or the kids kept him up the whole night. And for you, you're thinking, this person doesn't like me. So I would suggest you seek truth and question your own assumptions about people. The more I talk to people, the more I realize this country is a country of immigrants. The more you talk to people, they will realize their parents were migrants, the grandparents were migrants, they themselves are migrants. So many, you'll actually be shocked. You realize people have the same issues that you have, the same problems that you have. So question your assumptions about what is really true. Are people really racist, or then sometimes people are not, they're just unaware. They've just never met someone like you, so they don't know how to relate to you. So question your assumptions. Talk to people until you find out. Because a lot of times we get these things in our heads and we run with them, and they are not entirely true about our own experiences. This is coming from somebody who was knocked back so many times at school, work, but I've learned, not to just assume things. Then last but not least, I would say endeavor to be an upright person. Endeavor to do the right thing by everybody, because what you give out comes back, in my opinion. There's this law of reciprocity. Whatever you emit, whatever you give out, will actually inherently come back to you in one form or another. This country is very small. You will meet people in the same industries, in different areas. Just always try to be an upright person. I would have given you many more examples and many more stories, but we're on a schedule, we're on a time clock. All I would suggest is, please, if you take these few principles that I've given you, because I've come to realize principles actually shape character. If you take these principles to heart and work them through, you might become part of you, they'll become second nature to you, so it will make it easier for you to integrate, regardless of where you come from. You'll be able to stand out, but also blend in at the same time. So, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Ken, for such an enlightening and encouraging, motivational talk this morning. I have written down a few notes for myself. Out for me, be the best you, be a good neighbor. And I've learned over my career, over my journey in the last 20-something years that these things actually ring true for me. What you give is really what you get back. It's a law of the universe. It's called whatsoever you sow, you will reap. Some people call it karma, some people call it reciprocity, but it actually exists. It doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, it actually is a principle of nature, and it's a principle of life. So it's really good, and this informs a lot of the work we do here, because many of us have struggled to be where we are today, and we are very grateful for the opportunity that we actually can give something back to our community. So on that note, let's put our hands together for all the speakers this morning.